Today on the Aviators, we take a look at the future of air transportation with the Airbus A380. We peek inside a Cessna 206 during an annual inspection. We're back in the simulator to see what happens when a private pilot takes control of an airline.
Hi again, I'm Anthony Nalli. I'm the executive producer and director of the Aviators. And I'm also one of the hosts, as you'll see in this segment, and the narrator. This, I've got to tell you, is one of the most fun segments that I had the opportunity to participate in, and I think for obvious reasons. And it's a great way to kick off our experience with the TV show, because this was back in season 1. But I had always wanted to get in an airliner simulator and just have some fun and play with it. Just the experience alone is worth the opportunity if you ever have the chance. But I'll tell you, whether they want to admit it or not, every pilot dreams of the scenario, an insane scenario where you're, on your way to Cancun and you're on a 737 on your airliner there, and the pilots become incapacitated, and someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, you know how to fly the airplane?" Okay, you want to be the hero, right? You want to be the hero. So this segment is really intended to be that outlandish, probably will never happen scenario, or if it has happened, it's really only happened once or twice in the history of history. But it's so unlikely, it's unbelievable.
Near where the altitude select was, it should say heading select.
Okay, so I'll just turn the heading.
So here we are. Don't I look cool? Just kind of calm, cool, and collected. Just, I'm not nervous. I mean, I know I'm in a simulator. No one's gonna get hurt. But I mean, I'm a pilot, and any pilot wants to put it down. Wants to put this bird on the ground.
Roger. Do you have any idea how many passengers are on board, sir?
It looks like it's a full house, and I think it holds 94 or something like that.
Okay, and if you could just let us know what happened up there.
The pilots appear to be out of commission right now. I think they might have had the fish.
Okay, Roger.
That fish line. You'll remember that fish line from Airplane. I'll be honest with you. At the time, it just came to me. I didn't know it was from Airplane at the time. It just came to me.
That I've made some new friends,
It was funny. It felt funny.
I have the airport in sight. At this point, I'm informed that I will be manually flying the aircraft. Now the fun starts.
We've cleared all the other traffic out of the way, and we copy you just going through 6,000 feet at 250 knots. Confirm that?
This is a terrific segment. I really love it. Now, here's a couple of little behind-the-scenes things. I mean,
on your control yoke, you should see a red button. That red button will disable your auto.
if you listen to that, it certainly seems as though I'm talking to ATC. And if you've ever talked to ATC, or if you ever know what the capabilities are of ATC, I mean, I love air traffic controllers. They are fantastic. But I'll tell you, that air traffic controller seems to know an awful lot about flying this particular airplane. And you're probably not going to get that all that often. And that's because if you recognize the voice from the first couple of seasons of the show, that air traffic controller is actually host and airline pilot, not air traffic controller, Jeff Lewis. And this segment is actually a follow-up to a previous segment on how to land an airliner, where Jeff showed us how to land an airliner, which is, we actually shot it immediately before this segment. He wasn't doing that as instruction. He wasn't providing instruction, but it was kind of like a bird's eye view of, what goes on in the cockpit during the landing. So it's just kind of an airline pilot talking you through a landing just to show you what they do to land the airplane.
Remember, this is a larger aircraft than you used to fly.
And it sounds like we're talking to Jeff on the radio, and we're not. He's probably about 3 feet to my right. He's actually in the co-pilot seat talking to me. And then we just kind of manipulate the audio to make it sound like it's on the radio. And we deliberately excluded him from any of the shots Because the scenario is supposed to be that I'm up there on my own. So that's a little thing that you may or may not have caught on to. We have received comments from people on YouTube and Facebook and email that that air traffic controller seems to know probably more than he should about that aircraft, and well, that's why. And you know, it is a very, very popular segment on YouTube. This particular video has over 1.5 million views, and it's actually not our most popular video. We have one more that's got well more than that.
What are you doing now? Okay, you're short final, you're in great shape. Just put that airplane on the runway and good luck. 30.
The other thing you might have noticed earlier, they said they're going to scramble some fighter jets, and what Jeff identified as the jets they were going to scramble and the ones that we actually show, they're not in sync. They're not the same aircraft. And to the viewers on YouTube and Facebook and via email that have pointed that out to us, we thank you very much. We really appreciate the fact that you're paying attention to the segment and you're noticing things that are technically inaccurate and you're pointing them out to us. I can say that that's a season 1 error, and we hope to rectify things like that in subsequent seasons, which I'm confident that we did. The other thing you might notice is the little blur on the panel there. A lot of people have asked us what that blur is, and you see, it's the ever-present blur. And I've got to admit, I think the blur was actually applied probably not as clean as it could have been. And you know what? Well, this is one of those behind-the-scenes things where I should be revealing stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to keep it a mystery. I'm going to let you guess what it was we covered and why we covered it. And if you'd like to reach out to us via Facebook or YouTube comments or even via email, I prefer a more public way so that if you get it right, we can respond to you publicly. But yeah, hit us up on social media and tell us why you think we put the blur in there, and I'll tell you whether or not you're right. But yeah, I think I want to keep that as one of those mysteries. So see you on the next one.